Today something happened that not only reminded me why I teach, but it also I, it's something that's never happened to me before, and it was just amazing. Guided math time had just started, and to sort of paint the picture for you, during guided math, my students are at various places. They are on computers, they are doing a workstation, they are in the library, they're writing, they're reading, whatever they want to do. We have tons of different activities going, and I just gotten everybody settled in. I had a semi-difficult middle part of the day, and I was just kind of sitting at my guided reading table, my little kidney bean table where I do my small groups. I was just sitting there, and I just had like a whiteboard out, and I was just kind of thinking about who I was going to call first, and why. And in a given guided math block, I will see 3 or 4 groups, but I wait to decide who I call first based on who's engaged. For example, if I have most of the blue group that's super engaged in something, I'm not going to rip them away from that right now. So I'll just I'm very I need to be thoughtful about who I call and when. So I was just kind of sitting there trying to figure out who I was going to call. I was probably looking a bit defeated. I mean, not. I was looking a little bit stressed out probably. And then the most amazing thing happened. One of my students came up to me and sat right at the table and sat in there, scooted in, and she said, "Mr. Thain, will you work with me?" And at that moment, I was like, it like hit me what had just happened. So they're able to do computers. They're able to do any of 5 or 6 or 7 different activities. There's a couple of play centers out. And she came up to me, and she truly wanted to work with me. She wanted to learn. And I said, "Oh, sure." And I got out the whiteboard and I started writing some subtraction equations down, and I helped her. We did on our fingers. The goal of today was to we're working with subtracting within 10, and yesterday we did it concretely with unifix cubes. And I wanted to address a misconception that happens every year where kids, when I first teach them subtraction, and I'll say, "What's 5 minus 3?" A lot of them will go, "Okay, 5 and 3," and then take away 3 and say 5. That's a huge misconception. So I wanted to nip that in the bud. So today's lesson was supposed to be about that, about how when you need 5 minus 3, you only need 5 fingers, and then you take away 3. So her and I were kind of working together on that, and it was just a special moment because I had this amazing one-on-one moment with one of my students who I normally don't really get a whole lot of FaceTime with. Getting one-on-one FaceTime with a student anyway, ever, is hard. But it was just a wonderful moment that really brightened up my day. And then, even more amazingly, other kids saw that we were doing something, and 4 more students came over just to see what we were doing and decided to sit down. And they kind of initiated the lesson. It was the most amazing thing. They were wanting to answer the questions, and one of my students that was sitting with us, he wrote down his own question and asked me. It was something like 5 plus 6 or something like that, and I did a little think aloud on how I would solve that, and then they each wanted to come up with their own. So we spent the next like 5 or 10 minutes. They each wrote a problem on their board and had everybody else solve it. It was the most incredible moment today, and within the day when it can feel like chaos sometimes, or things just aren't going your way, when you can have one moment like that, those are the moments that I live for. Those are the moments, that's why I teach. At that moment, when I was with those students doing that work, that student-initiated work, when one of my students came up to me and she truly wanted to learn, that is why I teach. Every day's not like that, but it was nice having a moment today where it brought me back to the roots. When students start choosing to learn for themselves without me saying, "All right, if you don't do this, then I guess you're going to have to do the reset." We're getting to that time of year where some students start to rise above and take charge of their own learning, and that is an incredible feeling. And yeah, today was a good day. So if you have a rough day, or if you're having a rough year or whatever, Try to find those little nuggets that make you smile. Find those little nuggets, those little pockets of good in your day, because they're there. You just gotta look for them. And it's a time of the year where it sometimes can get hard. It's the winter blues. So start looking for the positives. Switch your mindset. As teachers, sometimes we start looking for the negatives. We're looking for misbehavior so we can correct it. Flip the script. Start looking out for positive behavior and reward it. Acknowledge it. High five it. Fist bump it. Start noticing positive, and your attitude can be positive. So, that's what I got for you today, guys. I had a great moment of inspiration today. So, I just wanted to share that with you guys today. So, thanks for watching. Make sure that you find your gift. Share it with the world, and you are absolutely worth it. See you tomorrow.